So looking at the different promos, I don't think I'm going to be going for any of these ones here because the purchases that I'm planning to make are about $250 each in order to maximize the stuff that I get. Unless, one second, if I do the math, if I'm thinking about $250, if I place three, okay, so say I have $800 to spend that I'm looking to spend right now, I could get 2 of these or I could get 3 of these. If I get 2 of these, I would also get 2 of these. It's it is still an addition to 10% cash back, and I mean I won't probably qualify for any of that or anything like that. But then what would be better? If I spend $320, but could I even make it work out? Because if I'm looking at the price points of the stuff I'm looking at, no, I couldn't make that work out because the prices are too inconsistent in that sense. So then realistically, or wait, could I? Let me do the math. Well, that would actually be a pretty close one. Okay, so this is going to be an interesting one for sure. I'm not sure quite what I'm going to do yet because I could either get 4 promos or I could get 3 promos. I think it would be better to go for the 4 promos then. But I'm not sure if I'd be able to make my carts work that way. I'll have to look and see what I can do. Yogurt time. I just got done with some other stuff and now I am going to start editing the vlog. It's currently 5:14 p.m. so I'm not sure if I'll be able to start the video processing before supper or not, but I'll just get started on the vlog now. Once again, I have a bad memory and completely forgot that I was editing the vlog and it's now ready to be added, uploaded to YouTube. So it's edited, finished processing. I honestly don't even know if I want to know how long ago it finished. So I'll let that be and open it up here. And so it's 9 p.m. right now. I should still be able to get it uploaded tonight before I call it a day, but then I'll just start that now. I was about to call it a day from listing, but then I was looking at the containers over here that had been sorted of all of the different sizes of the Technic connector pins. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I just listed 6, along with a couple of other parts. Oh, these look interesting. Oh wait, these are probably just 2 put together. Yeah, they're just 2 put together. And sometimes my dad doesn't know too much about Lego per se, so sometimes stuff like that slips through. So then I'll have to separate that and just put them in their proper containers. But then I saw these things here, and they look very familiar. I'm thinking they're from those like the buildable Lego figures. So for example, if I were to search up Vader, and I spelled that so wrong at the beginning, is V-A-D, not V-E-R, and then go to set, and then go to a buildable Darth Vader. If I go here, as you can see for his lightsaber right here, his hilt, I'm thinking that's what this is. So let's just see if we can find it real quick. Yep, right here. And that definitely looks like what these guys are. So how much are these guys worth? Well, they're worth a decent amount, so I'm not going to complain about that. About $1 each for most of them except for black, which are 60 cents. Metallic silver is even more, and it looks like I've got 3 different colors. No, actually 4 different colors. This one, there's a metallic silver in the bottom center, then 2 flat silver, or 1 flat silver, 2 pearl dark gray, or 2 flat silver, 1 pearl dark gray, and 3 black. So I'm just probably going to list these guys here, and then I'll call it a day for listing. Turns out that I'm pretty sure that these are flat silver and not pearl dark gray. It might be a little bit difficult to pick up in the video, but I just went to my gun drawer, if it will open, and then I just took out a pearl dark gray gun. I used this one here, and then set that there, and then if I grab a flat silver one and put that there, if you look closely at them, in the video it looks completely different than it does in person, but it is definitely more so flat silver than it is pearl dark gray. It's a bit difficult to tell in the video. I'll try and grab another pearl dark gray one to better compare it. See, it's completely different in color as opposed to the flat silver, which matches pretty well. I know it's not going to be an exact match or anything like that, but then looking, I have a quantity of 3 of them, and then based off of the sets they came in, I would have had to get this one and this one in order to have 3 of them in pearl dark gray, Or if you look at the quantities of these ones for flat silver, it's definitely more possible. And I know I got this guy in one bulk lot, and I didn't see his head, but I found a lot of those parts printed for those torsos, so it might be that. And then this one here, I'm decently sure I found a few parts for him, and it's entirely possible I had some Grievous parts. I can't tell for sure. But I'm also decently sure I had one of these ones. So it's definitely difficult to say exactly which one I have. So I'm probably going to list it as flat silver and say it might be pearl dark gray. It's very inconsistent, but a lot of old Technic parts and stuff like that were just quite difficult to tell apart color wise. And then the metallic silver one and the black ones were just all covered in bite marks. Like it's probably easier to see on the metallic silver one, but then you can see it's just bite marks all around the thing, so I'm not going to list that, and that's just in the garbage. And then the black ones were actually worse. I'll see if I can find one. They should just be right here on the top, but I'm not seeing it. Okay, right here. Like, look at these things. They are just horrible. But then the flat silver ones here were just completely fine. There's no bite marks or anything on them, so who knows about that. And then, as is per the daily tradition, this is the garbage container of the day. So then I grab my garbage can and I dump it into the garbage can, and that's a Lego that is now taken out of circulation, and so people don't have to worry about getting a random 8-cent axle covered in bite marks one day, compared to if I donated it, then it might have eventually down the line gone that route or something like that. But then also, it's probably not the best idea to also donate damaged goods and stuff like that. I mean, some people don't mind, but in general, it's just, I don't differentiate between damaged and cracked and stuff like that in the same thing. They're all just damaged to me, so I just put them in the same container. So then if I had to go through everything again and separate the stuff that's cracked and wouldn't be usable and stuff like that, it just ultimately, it's the decision I made is to just throw that stuff out. And then I did find one of these guys here that was just mixed in with the other stuff, so I put it in there. At least I think I did. It was here and it's not here anymore, and I don't remember what I did with it, but it's probably in there. And so then I'll just separate these things, and then I'll be calling it a day. And just a quick overview, this is the containers I emptied today. I was doing other stuff today, so I didn't spend the entire day listing, but it's good to get some more containers emptied again. And so this is the current ready to list. Well, actually, this stuff should be ignored for now, because this stuff still has to be sorted by color and everything like that. But that there is the stuff that I need to list next. And I did actually manage to get a good deal on a Lego set on eBay. I'll get it up real quick. Looking on Bricklink, there's one sold for about 50 or 60 bucks, but in general, it goes for about $100+ before shipping, before tax, and everything like that. And I'll go to eBay real quick. Don't want to show any information. 1 second. Over here. Ended up being only $65 after tax and shipping. And I was able to get this Lego set right here. So that was a nice find indeed. They had it listed for 60. I sent them an offer of 30. It was declined, and I was like, okay, well, 40 will be the max I'll send. So I sent a $40 offer. Then they accepted it. Then it ended up being 17 bucks on shipping, and then it was $7 or $8 on tax on top of that. So all in about 64 bucks or so. And looking at the part out value, a lot of them, there's multiple parts that hadn't sold in there. And then since it's a lot of rarer parts, those ones can be priced a little bit higher as opposed to the 6-month sales average and so on and so forth. So I should be able to get about a 3-time return, because just 6-month sales average is over 120, and considering I paid in the $60 range, that is a 2-time return for sure, and then probably closer to a 3-time return once I change prices around and stuff like that, because a lot of them are quite rare parts for that thing. And to get it brand new condition, that was a pretty good find, only $40 Canadian. And then I'll just grab it up on Bricklink real quick. 1 second here. And then if you go to this, there's one person listing at 20 bucks, but that's an incomplete thing, so I'll exclude incomplete. Well, they actually didn't list it as incomplete then. Let's look here. Yeah, they're listing as new sealed. For things like this, It's actually best. It's not necessarily because I'm trying to be rude to the seller or anything like that, but it's good to just report these listings so that they don't mess up the price guide. Because then if this sells at the $20 price tag as a complete copy of the set, then when someone goes to check the price guide and sees one sold at 20 bucks, they can't click on the listing and see, oh, this is bag 3 only and stuff like that. They'll see that someone sold a complete copy of the set for only 20 bucks, which will tank the value of the set, which could affect future people selling it and cause issues that way. So then when you see something like that, you just need to quickly open up a new page and then type in Bricklink report item. And this is what you can do if you see abusive pricing structures. For example, if you see a whole bunch of rare parts, oh wait, for sale, otherwise Google doesn't search properly for that. Why can I not find it? Normally it's I'll grab it up and I'll be right back. I forgot to put the word link up there. But then, for example, if you see a whole bunch of parts priced at like 1 cent, but they're attached to a super lot, and then something in that super lot is priced at like $100, when normally they all sell for 10 bucks a piece, and then there's 10 different of them, 9 at only 1 cent, 1 at 100, stuff like that. You can report that in the items for sale here. So then I'll get this up 1 second. Yeah, I just don't want to show all the previous things because I do have several on here, so I'll just go around the top of the page. So then what you can do is you can just go here and then select the lot ID. Then you can copy that and then go back to the other page. I'll try and adjust the lighting here a little bit. And then you can paste the lot ID here and then change it to, in this one here would be an incorrectly defined as new/used or complete/incomplete sealed, because if you look, it's listed as sealed when over here when it's not. So then I can just go there and then I'm just gonna set the phone down for a second and type in the comments, listed as complete when it's only 1 bag, and then I'll just get the camera back around again. And then as you can see here, I did item incorrectly listed as sealed, listed as complete when it's only 1 bag, and I can click submit complaint, and then it'll get reviewed by an admin. If something's already being reported, then it'll say in a red text at the top, this item's already being reported and stuff like that. So this just helps keep things more accurately listed for sale and stuff like that. It's not a jab at the seller or anything like that. Most of the times, like 99% of these times, it's just a mistake for stuff like this. But then that should hopefully help the price guide out, because then that also tanks the data for the price guide. Because then if you look over here, the average price for sale is 131, and although it's not a big problem considering there's only 8 for sale and only 2 sold, if you had excluded the incomplete, then it would be slightly different. And I wonder why it's slightly different when I'm excluding incomplete now on the price guide. Or is one of these here? Oh yeah, there's a different one that's listed as incomplete. Which one is it? Let's see if I can find it. Okay, it's this one here is listed as incomplete. Okay, so yeah, set removed from packaging, does not include original box. And as you can see, even with just this one here, it adjusts the average for sale price. So imagine what it would do to the average value of the thing once it's sold. So yeah, I just thought I'd quickly show that. And then never forget to go down at the end of the day, click missing my remarks and search, and nothing's missing remarks. So that's always good. Only 2 drawers filled today. I did put a whole bunch in different containers up here, along with filling up another box over here. So then this stuff here I'll put away. Got 101 of these guys, 201 of these guys, and most of the rest of the stuff in this box was already in here. But this box is now full, so this, I should have a lid right over here that I'll grab, and then the next box on the line is still right here. If I can get this lid out, there it is. And so then I'll just put this stuff away, then make sure to grab the new box, because looking at this is box 152, this is box 154. So let's see, over here we got box 156, and what's the other one? Box 155. So that's the one we need. So then we'll just put this here, then grab this one, and then this will be next one on the pile for empty boxes. And I'm probably going to regret keeping that at the bottom, because then it'll be impossible to separate later. So I'll put it on top, put the barcodes facing me, and then I'll put this stuff away, and then this will be the last clip of the day. Quick update from the clip in a vlog a while back. I had a whole bunch of random styrofoam type things in my door, and I couldn't remember why they were there. And now that I open my window, my door continuously rattles throughout the night. So at least I remember why they were there, but they're all thrown out now, so don't know what to do now. Not sure if you could hear it there a little bit, but that's what it sounds like. I just got an order in the mail today that I purchased. It's, I honestly can't remember the store, but I think I've ordered from this store like half a dozen times now, and usually pretty good stuff. So I ordered from there again. And so then I had a comment on the previous vlog about how this thing was supposed to work on this. That's how it's actually supposed to be. But I read the comment like 10 times, and I just could not understand what was being said because my brain just wasn't working that day. And then I tried reading again this morning, and my brain just still wasn't working. So I'm not gonna lie, I can't really understand what I said. All I know is that supposedly that's meant to be there, and it's not that mine's broken. So going forward, instead of using that to measure pamphlets and stuff like that, I'm going to either use a actual ruler or a digital ruler, because computers have there's actually this one website I've used multiple times, and it's like very accurate for the ruler size. So I just brought an actual ruler down, so I'm going to quickly get the site up, and then I'm just going to compare it to an actual ruler real quick. This is from my dad's work. But before I do that, it's a bit chilly down here again, so I'm going to just first turn the fireplace on again and turn all the knobs the correct way, just to try and heat up the basement a bit, because it is freezing down here. And I'm actually curious, if I were to open up the freezer, would it be nicer inside the freezer than out here? Well, it's honestly not that different than outside. Slightly colder, but arguably only slightly. And this thing has freezing water in it, so yeah, who knows about that. And so I've got the site up on the computer here now. So it's I've used it before, and so once my computer stops lagging, and then it'll load eventually. Early morning computer freeze, it's always like that. Just usually give it a little bit, and then it'll work out just fine. It's loading at the top. It's thinking about it. Oh, it's getting there. Oh, it's the site's up. All right, here. So this is the one that I've used now. So then we're gonna grab this ruler, and we're just assuming that this ruler is accurate, and I'll use the centimeter side or millimeter side. So then if we line this thing up here, okay, so this thing is, looking at the thing there, I'll try and lower it a little bit. It's like 1 millimeter off as opposed to this ruler. But then the question is, this ruler is all broken, dented, and stuff like that. Is the ruler broken? Or, for example, graduation of an inch. I can't say I know anything about what any of that is. And calibrate to actual size. Let's see here. Okay, well, I don't have any cards near me, so I couldn't use that. I don't really have any of these things on me right now. So then you could adjust the size of the screen and stuff like that. And then, yeah, I'll just try to figure this out eventually. Or actually, it's the same monitor, but it probably wouldn't make any difference if I just put it on a different screen. So then let's try the centimeter side of things here. Or that's inch. Oh wait, that's centimeter as well. What? Rulers are confusing. That's millimeters. This is inches. So if we line this up here, okay, this one perfectly lines up. See, it's lined up there, and it's lined up there perfectly. Okay, let's try switching the screens for this thing again. See if that's just the screen thing, but it shouldn't be, because these screens are the exact same. So then if we line this up right here, okay, so this one perfectly lines up with that. But then if I flip the ruler upside down for millimeters, then why is it off for millimeters? I guess it might be, if I can load it up, it might be that it's broken. I genuinely can't tell. Yeah, it's difficult. But then if we line it up right here, yeah, it's still off from the 15 by a noticeable amount. So this is just really confusing. So the question is, do I trust an old broken ruler that was a work promotion like 50 years ago, or one that uses computer information to find it? yeah, well, who knows? I'll probably just get another ruler or something. I mean, I've used this thing before for, can't remember for what, but I used it for something and it worked out fine, so who knows? Yogurt time. I'm now ready to start listing for the day, and so now I have to choose which container to start on. This stuff here isn't sorted yet, so I'm going to leave this stuff on the side. I'll grab this other armrest in case I need it later. And then this here's, this one I might list. It's a pretty simple one. But then it would be fun to empty a whole bunch of containers listing it later. So I'll just leave that one for now. This one I will because it's literally this one black one mixed in, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, right up there at the top. And then there's these ones as well, so I'll put those onto the listing file. These guys here, pretty simple, but will take a very long time. And so I'll set those on the listing pile. I think these ones, there's also dark gray mixed in. Yep, you can kind of see there, there's dark gray mixed in. These guys will take a very long time, but that's all right. And so red, light gray, and light bluish gray. Oh, that's going to be a nightmare to separate. Oh, man. Wish me luck on that one. And then 3 of them in black. Those ones probably go for a couple bucks each, if I'm not mistaken. I know the ones in white go for... I sold one for like $1.50 the other day. And this here alone, these 2 containers will probably take me like an hour and a half at least to check for damage and list. And then, so I don't forget, I'm going to grab the cart and put it closer. Oh, and I have it there so I can leave the iPad on the screen now for charging, so I don't have to move it every time, and it can stay on the stand. And so then I'll put the cart there so I remember to pull orders tonight. And then I guess I'll just grab another stack of containers. I'll go with this one. And then I'll also just put this one on the to list file. And this here will definitely be more than I can already list today. And then looking over there, I only have a couple containers available. So I'm then going to have to grab some more containers. And looking at the area here, I've basically, since I started listing the used stuff more recently, after I used a whole bunch of these drawers here, for new parts I added, I started doing what I normally do, start with drawer 1, then start filling them up, and then go through the entire system. So I did the first row, did this unit, and now I'm partially through this unit. You can already see some of the drawers have been put back after being listed. And so then I just need to grab the next empty drawers, or empty in a sense. Like this one here, it's, yeah, I can use this one, I guess. But basically, if it's like less than half full, except this one here is an exception I'll leave because it's just filled with hands, and that would just be a pain if I had to work that out or something like that. But then see this one here, it's like over halfway full, so I'll just leave that one behind for now. And this one here is basically halfway, so then I'll just go through and find a whole bunch of mostly empty containers, and then grab these container drawers and then bring them back. And then that's what I do. I just go through, get all the drawers I need, bring them back, and then once I've gone through every single used spot, by the time I get to the very end, I'll have one of 2 options. One, I can go back to the beginning and start a drawer 1 again, which, looking at some of these things, they are starting to get a little bit emptier now as opposed to how full they have been in the past, because I usually fill drawers up pretty full. Or I could then proceed to change this stuff here from new to used, but I do want to start trying to prevent the usage of new drawers. What's this here? Oh yeah, a whole bunch of those guys. But I do want to try to start not going to use more new drawers for used parts, because I am hoping once I'm done with all the used stuff to switch to new stuff mostly or entirely. And so then I'll just have to leave that stuff. I'll try to leave those drawers there alone for as long as I can, and then hopefully just go back to here. So that's why for some of the things that I listed, like for example, this here, I could probably, well, maybe not this one here, but something like this. It could almost certainly fit in the drawer, once I've checked them for damage, but I'll probably still put it in a bag, because instead of it just being, if it can't fit in a drawer, then I'll put it in a box. If it takes up more than half of a drawer or something like that, then I'll end up putting it in a bag in a box, just to try to put more stuff in boxes, because I have a lot more box room. I got all of these ones here, all of these ones here, and a whole shelf here that I can use still for boxes, as opposed to drawers for used parts. I've only got like this area here. So I just try to be more efficient with the space and just try to use more boxes where I can. And yeah, these boxes here, There's I think it goes up to about 260, I want to say, but I can't really see because it's behind a whole bunch of stuff there. So yeah, just wanted to give a quick update. And I don't know if I mentioned, but I sold 2 more Galador parts again for like 15 bucks or so. Interesting way for Amazon to put the Black Friday announcement sale. Let me get it back up here real quick. I click on this and then it's the countdown to Black Friday, but not quite sure they worded it the right way. That's just a bit, can't say I've ever heard it worded that way. I remember this is some Christmas presents from last year, I think. So that was interesting how it still recommends them and stuff like that. Finally getting around to putting this stuff out to dry. It looks like it's mostly dry if you just observe it a little bit, like this here. But there's still all the water inside of the bricks and everything. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to drop that on camera. That's probably super loud. So you probably can't see it too much on the camera, but it's still got water inside all the bricks and everything. Oh, I just punched the roof by accident. But that's the side there. So we moved a whole bunch of the boxes from the hallway here, so it's nice and empty again. You can kind of see the scratch from the roof there, although that might just be the popcorn on my hand. Yeah, that, like that. I think it's called like a popcorn roof or something like that. I honestly don't know. This is like the worst roof design I've ever seen, and yet it's still such a popular thing. It's just really weird. It is so painful. This has caused so many injuries in the time that I've lived here. It's crazy. But then we moved a whole bunch of the stuff from the hallway here, so it's got a nice area to put out the tablecloth and blanket and another tablecloth apparently, or something like that, to just let it all dry. Get the fan hooked up, put it at the one end, and then it can just be poured out here and then dry. But first, since there's been a whole bunch of stuff stacked here for a very long time, and I know I just vacuumed the other day, but I am going to quickly just vacuum the basement in the hallway here, just so that it's clean again, because as you can see, there is a lot of dust everywhere, because this stuff has just been here for a very long time without getting moved. So I'm just going to quickly vacuum this and then going to set up the Lego drying area. Just finished with setting up the area for drying and dumping out the bags that you see over there onto the mat. So we've got the setup here. The fan is super strong in the sense that if this thing wasn't here, it just kind of falls over. So it just kind of needs to stay here. Otherwise, nothing will ever get dried, because there would be drying the roof or something like that. So then we've got a tablecloth. I'll see if I can pick this up a bit. You can kind of see it. There's a cloth under here. That's a tablecloth, so that it's plastic so that it doesn't drip onto the floor and ruin it. And then we've got the tablecloth here. Then we've got the containers, the bags dumped out that we had that were semi-sorted. So we've got the 2x4 bricks, the 2x2 bricks, plus the 8x16 base plate. I'll zoom in on that. It's just there to dry a little bit real quick. Then we've got the 2x6 with the 2x8s, I want to say. Possibly 2x10s in there as well. I can't quite tell. Then we've got the 2x3s mixed with more 2x8s and 2x12s. I don't know. Those ones there are somewhat similar, except there's 2x6s in that one and not that one, and there's 2x3s in that one and not that one. So then that's just how it's all here. So this stuff is getting dried now. Then we got the bags at the end that are drying as well, because then all the dust in them can be easily removed. Like, I'll just quickly show if I can find it, but you can kind of just see dust everywhere in these guys, all building up and everything like that. So once it's dried, it's just a lot easier to remove that from the bags. And then we have the bucket at the end there, because that was wet as well, because there's soaping wet bags just sitting in there for a couple days. So then once it's dried, usually within a couple days, but just need to move it around every now and then whenever I walk by, just so that more of it can get dried better. And then every time I see a couple of bricks that are put together, I just separate them real quick. Oh, here's another one. So then I'll just separate that. And oh yeah, there's a couple that slipped by that need to be separated still. So then I just separate those every time I find them, just so that I can easily so that they can more easily dry. So this here is what's being washed so far and is now drying. And then we still have all of these 2x or bigger bricks. So when I say a 2x brick, I basically mean anything that's 2 wide or bigger. So then we've got like the 8x16 bricks things there, and yeah, all of these containers here. Oh wait, why is there's a random 2x2 tile in here for some reason? That's interesting. Can't say I know offhand why that's there. I'll put it in the missorted thing here, and then this is the Technic stuff. So yeah, then this here is what is remaining to be washed for the 2x bricks. So that's the next one up for sorting and stuff like that. And so it's starting to get emptier here, and then I'm thinking maybe after those ones, I'm definitely going to be saving the vehicle parts for last. I'm sorry, I just don't want to deal with those guys. But it's actually quite a small and more digestible amount, for lack of better words, of what's left. We've got vehicle parts, we've got 1x bricks. I feel like that one of these is also 1x bricks. Then we've got some brick modified in one of those containers. Then we've got slopes, and then we've got doors or containers, and then we've got some Duplo in these ones. Then we've got either this one or that one is the accessory container, and then the other one is filled with the everything else stuff. And oh look, 2 matching canoes right here. Cool. And so then this here is what's remaining to be listed for the large containers. Then we've also got some round bricks, more slopes, more round parts, ladders and bars, plants, more doors, odds and ends, a couple minifigure parts, and then on the side there's just a couple stacks of containers and stuff that were from a different buy that weren't sorted into these ones. So then once we get to the next stack here, then we just go through all the containers there, all the containers there, and all the containers over there, and then just put them into the proper containers and then wash them as we go. So that's just a quick update of what's remaining. It's currently 5:09 p.m. and I just finished checking these. 1 second. They are called Technic Bush for damage, and so then yeah, this took probably half hour, 45 minutes to check these for damage in red. These are the damaged ones I found, so those will go on the side. Then I'm going to count these guys, list them, and then I'm going to start on the light gray and light bluish gray. But as you can possibly see a little bit, the light gray and light bluish gray are all mixed together, so I'm going to have to separate all those. And this one here is damaged, so I'll quickly throw that one out. So then I'm going to count this one and then start working on these guys here. Finished counting these guys, and there was 528 of them, so now I'll get them put in a bag and put on the side. I'm thinking I'm first going to check them for damage and then separate between the light gray and light bluish gray, since that just seems like the best idea for now, because then otherwise as I check them for damage I'd have to first try and find which container to put them in, and once I start getting 3 containers instead of just 2, then it'll start getting more complicated. So I think I'll just check them for damage first and then I'll sort them by color. I can't say I've ever seen one of these Technic bushes cracked before, but this one is actually cracked. It's I can't really show it pulling it apart on camera, but when I have 2 hands and I'm working on it, when I was checking for damage with 2 hands, it would be separating a little bit, so it's definitely cracked, and it's not just a line or anything like that. But that is definitely a first that I've seen one of these guys cracked, especially in that weird position. It's not cracked on the sides or on the edges or anything like that, just right in the center. It's really weird. I'm now going up for supper, so I'm just going to first go to the Lego, and I'll first turn this thing upside down, although it does look completely dry, so that's good, but I'll just put it there just so it gives it a little bit more time to dry. But then I'll just basically move everything around a little bit, and then as you can possibly see, there's still a little bit of water on some of them, so that's why you have to just move around all the time. And so then I'll just move all of these guys around a little bit, separate the bricks that need to be. And so yeah, it's getting mostly dry now. I'd say it's probably about 60% dry or so. And if nothing had to be moved around, it would be like 90% dry, but a lot of it's got to be moved around still so that it can properly dry. So because there's a lot of different sizes to these things, it can definitely take a while, as opposed to other parts, because these ones have larger insides that hold water a lot more than, say, plates or something like that. So this can possibly take several days to just completely dry. Oh, that went flying. And so yeah, this is probably gonna need a lot of just moving around over the next several days. And so yeah, I think, is it these guys in transparent bright green go for like 20 or 30 bucks a piece, because they are part of a slime from the one Minecraft set, or I may be thinking of a slightly different brick. But yeah, then this here, I'm just gonna move around a bit. These are actually mostly dry, surprisingly. Like, I mean, there's a bit of water on some of them. But these seem to be actually the driest out of all of them, probably because there's just less mass there as opposed to over here. Just got back down from supper, and I'll just move all of the bricks again and separate any that haven't been separated yet. And just continuously move these around as often as I can. And did I see? Yep, there's a 2x2 mixed in here. I'll put it back over there. Is this real Lego? Yep, this is from the different plastic type change they had a while ago. But it's getting a decent amount of it dried out, even though it's only been like half hour or so since the last time I did this. And so then I'll just mix them around a bit more and then let them be for a while. Maybe by tomorrow or the day after, most of it should be dried. I'll put this thing standing up over here now, if I can. How is that falling over at that angle? Okay, there. And then this stuff is quite dried actually now. And then, so yeah, overall pretty good progress for this. Just separate anything that I can. Is this Lego? Yep, that was, I'm pretty sure. Yep, okay. So yeah, overall, it's drying out pretty good. I just finished checking these Technic bushes for damage in light gray and light bluish gray. These are the damaged ones. Realistically, when you think about it, I probably spent the past, I don't know, 2 hours, maybe even more. Well, probably more, probably closer to 3 hours, checking these guys for damage. And considering that these here, I accidentally lost the thing, so I'll search it up again. Technic bush. And here, light bluish gray, 3 or 4 cents, I'm thinking. Yeah, 3 cents. And then in light gray, yeah, 5 cents or 4 or 5 cents is probably what I listed for. And so realistically, to remove probably $3 of damaged ones for 3 hours of work in and of itself is not the best exchange, but in general, most things don't take this long, so it's worth it overall. And I shouldn't be viewing it as each individual thing that it took forever, but as an overall, this one took longer than average, and not worry about the value of the parts. And then this way I can have the selection of these parts for sale in the store as well. Even though they're a common cheap part, they'll now be available as well. And so then these ones here are garbage, and there ended up being probably closer to a dozen of them that were actually cracked. So it wasn't just the one that I showed in the one previous clip, so that was interesting to see. And so at least I'm done with these guys, and just there's no chance at all of me accidentally mixing them up with the other ones. These guys are now in the garbage, gone forever. And so now I have to separate these between the light gray and the light bluish gray. So then just another quick update, because it's been a couple hours since I last moved them around. They are a lot more dry for sure. I'd say probably 90-95% dry now. Even moving them around, I'm not feeling any water droplets or anything like that. For the most part, there's still a few specks for some of them, but overall it's mostly dried, except the top here seems to be a little bit not quite as dry as the rest of it. So I'll just move some of these things around at the top and let that dry a little bit better. And then I'll see over here, yeah, it's a little bit at the top here as well. So that's about as expected, but surprisingly dried decently well under here. So yeah, then I'll just separate these things, but mostly the bottom areas are dry, and there's a hand in that one. So yeah, this here will definitely be done by tomorrow. There's gonna be a little bit of water that gets through ultimately, but that's fine. It'll dry off during the sorting, stacking, and storage before it sells over time. So overall, good progress. Chit Chats does it again with yet another cheap shipping Canada option. So right here, they've got a new option for Chit Chat Slim that's going to be released at the end of this week, I think it said. 1 second, let's see here. 1 second, let me change the email. It says launching later this week over here. So, and basically, if it's under 250 grams and in a small packet or envelope or something like that, then it'll be 15% cheaper, I think it said. Or, where was that again? 1 second. save up to 15% with that. But then looking at this, I mean, I'm not the best at math, but is that 15% difference right there? I guess it is probably. So yeah, now if there's a normal parcel, it would cost $10 Canadian to ship. Now a tracked parcel, if it fits the requirements, it'll be $7.90, but that does not have full delivery, doesn't have full tracking, but in general, if it's a low dollar item or something like that, that's not too big of a deal. And so that's a pretty good shipping option there. And then they have the local pickup thing as low as $4.51. So that is overall really interesting. And then hopefully going forward, since I use flat rate $7.50 shipping, I'm always out on shipping for parcel orders to some extent. But for smaller orders now, where it's just a couple small items or something like that, if I can save up to 15% on shipping, that'll be a nice improvement. So hopefully I won't be out on a pile of money on some orders now. So can't wait to start using that. I've now separated between the light bluish gray and the suspected light gray, and I've already found several suspect light gray ones that are actually just faded light bluish gray. So now I'm going to try to look through this and see if I can find any more that look like they are just the faded or the miscolored, I don't know what word I should ever use to describe them, a light bluish gray, that are ones that just look like they're light gray even though they are actually light bluish gray. I just finished counting the light bluish gray Technic Bush things, and there was exactly 700 of them. So I think with the red ones, there's around about 500 and something of them, and I want to say 539. Actually, let's see real quick. Here, 528, so pretty close. And so now I'm going to get these guys listed and then get back to the light gray ones. I found a couple more that I'm suspect of that I put into the one for the missorted light gray things. And so I'll review this once more once I get around to listing those in just a few seconds. It's now 9:53 p.m. and I don't think I'm gonna list any more tonight. Yeah, those I pretty much just got this and this listed today with a little bit of other stuff, but that pretty much took out the entire willpower I have for listing for the rest of the day. So that's probably gonna be the last thing I'll do today for listing wise, but I still have to pull orders. Luckily, I only have a couple of orders. It was a pretty slow weekend, which is pretty fine with me because it means less work right now. And so then I'll get the orders pulled. I think I have more on eBay than I do on Bricklink and Brickowl combined, at least dollar-wise. I think I might be wrong on that. I did miss 2 items in an order on Brickowl, so I do have those in a cup already prepared. I don't know how I missed those. It was only like an 8-lot order, but they ordered 2 different, I think I call these mailboxes, but they're like called containers, 2x2x2 or something like that. But they ordered these in white and red, I think. And so I think I just got the red ones and completely forgot about the others. And so I've got those now. And the buyer's all fine with it. They understood there's a mistake and everything like that. So now I'm just going to quickly pull the other orders, and then I'll be calling it a day after that. I do have to first get the eBay ones though. Let's do one of my favorite tasks of rebuilding a minifigure that I sold that I know I have the parts for, because if I don't have the if I don't know if I have the parts for it, like this one here, then it's not quite as fun. This one here, I might have more of those guys in this container here. I'd have to double check, but I really don't feel like doing that right now. And then this one here, there's a decent chance I can rebuild him. This one here, it's Chima, but there's always one part that seems to be missing, even though that stuff is like super common. These guys here, I'm always out of the torsos, I think. This guy, I should be able to. I got a whole bunch of his headgear the one time, and I think I have a decent amount of the other parts of him. And then this one I probably can, but we're just going to be focusing on this one right now. So this here is the TLM 110. I'll quickly go over to Bricklink and type that in. I purchased 50 copies of the set that this came in a while ago, and let's see right here. Yeah, I purchased, it was over the X amount of months ago. I purchased 50 copies of the set at about $13 a piece, I want to say. And for 4 minifigures, you can't really complain on that, especially considering that I sell each of the Spacemen for about 12.5 bucks a piece, and Benny for 8.5 to $10 a piece. I can't remember what he's at now. And considering that the cheapest, if I wanted to get that quantity again, let's see, right here, I'd be paying 22 bucks, but that doesn't even ship to Canada. And so there's no one that's selling with that quantity or anything like that that ships to Canada anymore. So then basically what I need to do is I need to quickly find all of these parts and then grab them from the drawers. So what I do is I just quickly open up all of these pages here like this. And then I click on the in my inventory in the proper color. So then I just go down here to these, and then white, and then white, and then color info, white. And then I have all of these up right here. And then I just need to make sure that I can find the drawer number for the new condition one, because I just generally take from the new condition for these parts. And so I'm just going to quickly now grab a cup from over here, and then let's quickly just grab these parts. So the first one we need is from drawer 5225. So let's go to drawer 5225, which is over here. So then we can open up the drawer, take out one of these heads, close the drawer, and then go back, because I listed a probably like 5 of each of these minifigures complete, and then just parted out the rest because I just decided that'd be more fun. And I just realized I actually don't really need a cup for this, so I'm just putting that back. And then now that I've gotten the head, I'll just change the quantity of this to 1 less, and then press submit changes if enter's not working and nothing's loading right now. Okay, there it is. So then I can switch to that one. Then I need 4597. So we go over to drawer 4597, which is right here. So then I grab 1 set of its legs, which is always a good thing. I had a contest a long time ago on the Bricklink forums. Well, not long time ago. It was just a little while ago, and then for the winner, they ended up getting like 10 copies or so of these legs for free. So that was good for them, because those are always white legs get yellowed really easy. So it's usually best to buy those in new condition. So then I need 2371 for the next one, which is over here. 2371 right here. So then I can grab one of these air tanks. And now I'm wondering, did I remember to deduct the quantity of the legs? I'll check back on the video later, because I sometimes just forget things I literally just did. So then I'll deduct the quantity of that. Then 5252 is the next one, which is right over here. So now I'll grab one of these helmets. And then we have just 1 part left. So I'll just quickly put this down here. Then change this to a quantity of 52. Then go to this one, 6129. So then I'll go to your 6129, which is right over here. And I'll grab one of the torsos and then close that. And so now I can just rebuild this minifigure for eBay and then get that guy relisted. And since it's already right here, what I'll do is I'll just quickly build that. Oh yeah, and I can't forget, he has an accessory. So he's got a wrench. So I'm going to quickly just change this quantity back to the lower quantity, then go back to sets, go here, and find the wrench, go to inventory for the new one, adjust that quantity to 73, and then go 3305, because on eBay I sell minifigures with accessories. So then I'll just go to the drawer, grab one of the wrenches, and so then I'll build this minifigure up and then put the minifigure in the bag, and then this one I'll send out, and then this one here with that's in the card I'll just put back in the box, and then that will be done. So then I just go to the minifigure listing on eBay, then I go here and I increase the quantity by 1. I'm not going to increase the price this time since it wasn't a fast sale. Typically if it sells fast, I'll increase the price by 1. Not by 1, by 1, not 1 because that's not a price to increase by, that could mean $1.50, but if it's a $100 item or something like that. But this one took a while to sell, so I won't increase the price on this one. And so now it's back for sale again. I've got 2 sold, 1 available. And so then the minifigure, I can just go back and put it right back in the Lego movie thing there. And then I can put these boxes back because I've now got all of the eBay orders pulled. And then, so all in all, this is what I sold on eBay over the weekend. I think that these were one order, these were one order, these were one order, and the rest of these were individual orders. But all in, this was $190 of minifigures, so not the worst weekend. And then I'll get to pulling the Bricklink and Brickowl orders now. Let's quickly pull the 2 Galador parts I sold. First one is in box 149, and I grabbed box 149, 150, because the next one is 150 as well. So we sold 2 arms from the Allegra, I think. Who knows how that's actually said. And so then we look here. We can see the first one here. We can adjust the hand, it goes 360. So this matches, well, if I rotate the hand a little bit more, this matches it perfectly. So that's the first one we need, and they bought 2 of them. So we need to find 1 more of these guys. It'll be in the box here somewhere. Most of the Galador stuff I decided against putting in drawers because they would just fill up the drawers so fast and everything like that. And since it's a slower mover, it's not like the drawer would become empty anytime soon or anything like that. And so here's the second one. So they got these at $7.25 each, so 2 of them for $14.50. So that was nice. And then I've got from this box here, they purchased a head for $2.25. So we need to quickly find that. It looks like this one here. It's Nick, which is this one here by the looks of it, and it's described as that weird dusty look thing on the hair. Probably not too visible in the video or anything like that, but as some of you may know, the rubber type of Lego pieces, just dust does not leave it no matter what. I washed this thing and everything, and it still is like that. And so that was all good there. So then this is the entire order. It was $21.22 for just a couple of parts here. And so that is the last order I have to pull for the day. So for break time, I play games and watch AI dominate virtual markets. So I'm about to head up for the day, so I'm just going to quickly move some Lego around again, and it's like completely dry now. I'll let it run overnight since it's fine probably, and there's like very minimal water left on anything. I can't feel any water. My hand is still completely dry right now. So yeah, overall very good drying time and speed. And so yeah, then I'll just turn the light off here, and then the light's off here, and then the morning I'll turn that off, and then hopefully get another load in the washer. I just got down to work, and so I'll turn the light on there, and I'll turn the fan off here. And so the Lego, by the looks of it and the feel of it, is like completely dry now. There's like practically no water anywhere whatsoever. There's a few specks, like my hand is like, I can't even see the water on my hand, but I feel just a little bit of water, but it's like there's no water for the most part left. And here's 2x3 brick that slipped through. And so then it's basically all done now. So then this here is able to be put wherever it needs to be. And then another batch can get washed. But with this stuff, I'm not quite sure how we're going to do it, because the thing about 2x bricks and bigger, one second, let me turn the light on here, is that there's only a few different types. There's 2x2, 2x3, 2x4, 2x6, 2x8, 2x10, 2x12, 2x14. I don't think there's a 2x16, and I don't remember if 2x14 is actually a real thing or not. And then there's a couple others, but in general, there's only like a dozen or so different ones for the most part that make up like over 95% of them. So for these guys, I don't know exactly how we're going to do it. We're probably going to end up using a whole bunch of shoe boxes for sorting, and then they're just going to get stacked up quite a bit and stuff like that. So then at least we got a couple stacks of them every here and there. So that will be something that we'll have to figure out. Might even end up using some of, one second, let me open up the door here. Some of these boxes, let me turn the light on here, for some of the bricks, because there's just going to be so many of them. That might be the best option. So that's done. I'll worry about that later, though. It's first time to ship stuff out. Just got some more bubble wrap from something I got in the mail today for one of my collections, and then an empty box. It was supposed to be delivered yesterday, but it was accidentally put on the wrong delivery vehicle, so then it had to get rerouted, and it was finally delivered today, so that was nice. And so then I am just getting to work now. It's 1:30-ish, I think. Yep, 1:39. So that's good. And then I'll turn the light on over here. Oh, and I just got an order on Bricklink. I can't show my email because there's other emails in there as well. But since I have confirmed now that there's no private or sensitive information on this page, let's open it up and see how much it's for. $48.95, so that's nice. I'll just open it up on a new page and confirm that I don't actually show any private information. All right, this is the area you want to be. So let's see what made this order valuable. All common, cheap parts. Okay, so they got one torso from Spider-Man for 45 bucks. So that was a nice sale right there. And I did confirm it was the right one. Let's see. Yeah, only one available in Canada. And when you're the only one for sale in your area, you can usually ask a premium for something and it will sell. So that was nice. And what was the condition? So yeah, has minor damage, no cracks. Neck has some wear and possibly nicks/dings, but it's hard to tell. And so they paid 45 bucks for that, so I can't complain about that sale. And so then I'll send the invoice for that, and then if they pay, then I'll get it packed up as well. But other than that, I've got the orders already pulled for the day. That's the eBay stuff, and I got the Bricklink and Brickowl on the other side. Yogurt time! I'm just quickly working on rebuilding a couple of eBay minifigures. So I just relisted the Hansel and Carbonite. Sold him 4 times now for 12.5 bucks. So he's relisted now. Relisted the unprinted Wookiee. I got like 20 or 30 of these heads unprinted one time, and so that was a really nice find. And when I bought them, I thought that they were printed ones. And so it's actually almost cooler that they're unprinted, even though it did say in the description it was unprinted. I just completely missed that. And so then I've been selling these guys. This is like the 3rd or 4th one I've sold now, and they sell for about $13-ish each. So just rebuilt him now. And then I just sold some more 41st Elite Clone Troopers. Typically sell 2 of them for around 32.5 bucks, I think it is. Sold 2 of the Kashyyyk Troopers for around 10 bucks or so. This time I relisted them for 12.5 since they've gone up a bit since the last time. And then I relisted the TIE Pilot here for 10 bucks. And so now I have a few CMF parts that I still managed to have that I could relist. I'm missing the controller for this guy, and I'm missing the head, torso, and rainbow for the bear. So I will have to order some parts, but then at least I was able to get some parts for these minifigures. And then I still have all of these minifigures left to go for rebuilding. I haven't shipped orders out yet. I'm waiting for my dad because he's got the van, because he's at the garage getting stuff changed or fixed or something on there again. And so yeah, in the meantime, I'm just working on rebuilding. I was getting a few parts out of here, and then here's a random Ewok thing, but I just have a couple drawers with some stuff in them, so let's just see how much stuff I can rebuild. I had some other stuff to do, so I didn't quite get as many cards worked on today as I was planning to do. I still have these ones left, but still overall much less than what I started with. These are the ones that are incomplete that I have to order parts for. Just added to the list of things that I just haven't ordered really much for. But next year, I do hope to get back more into the rhythm of ordering parts quite often again. Although that means I'll have to start dealing with a lot of poor quality parts I get. But I do try to get new parts whenever I can, and sometimes it's feasible for some minifigures, but for some it's not. Like realistically, for this Nightwing guy here, I'm missing his torso, brand new, goes for 8 bucks. Used, I can get it for like $1 or $2, but then when I buy it used, there's like a 50% chance it'll arrive cracked or with bite marks on it. So yeah, it's a pain, and I wouldn't make any money if I bought it new, so I can't buy it new. Yeah, and yeah, there's just lots of different parts there. So I got those ones to work on, but then I was able to rebuild all of these minifigures here. This guy's, I started selling this guy at like 12.5 bucks a piece, but he keeps selling at every price I put them at. So now I put them at $20 because it's almost impossible to get this guy without cracks on it. So it's almost worth a premium because I know for sure it doesn't have any cracks on it. So on eBay, he's now listed for $20. The last time I had him listed for 17.5 or 18.5 bucks, somewhere around there. And he sold pretty fast. So got that relisted. And there's no one in Canada selling that right now. So that's good. And at least none with the Bricklink number, because most of the eBay listings have the Bricklink number as well. So then I got these guys listed, then a couple more of these, then the unprinted Wookiee and stuff like that. So then I'm just leaving these on the side for now and leaving those over there for now. I've still got this one here that I'm waiting on, and not waiting on, but haven't processed yet. And so yeah, I'm just calling it a day now. It is currently basically 10 p.m. Just thought I would quickly show, we did actually set up a nice hydroponics area in our house, and so we're just testing everything out right now. We've got the bucket of water, we've got the flowing water in there, you can see it a little bit, and so that's flowing through everything. So we're just currently testing out everything with just a couple of seeds. Right here we do have a different hydroponic type thing here, and currently, I mean, I think that's a tomato, lettuce, and something there, mint over there. So we're just testing that one out right now, and the roots on them are amazing. Like, this here is quite impressive for roots on a hydroponics tank. So I just thought that was pretty cool. And then we've got this one here. This here, we're hopefully going to be able to have just a lot of stuff growing here, because by us, lettuce, although I haven't eaten it in a long time, I can't remember if I can have lettuce or not. But lettuce, it's like $6 or $7 after tax. Well, actually, is there? No, there's no tax on lettuce because it's food. But then it's, yeah, $6.50 or so just for one head of lettuce. And I mean, I don't really remember how long ago it was cheaper or anything like that. But yeah, it's still just a lot, and it's crazy. So realistically, if we can just get a seed, because you can, for most food, you can get like a packet of 100 seeds at Walmart for like $2 tops after tax or so. I mean, that's probably increased a lot with inflation as well. But yeah, lettuce is like $6, romaine 3 heads for almost $15, and stuff like that. So just if we can get something growing here, just that would be overall pretty cool. And it's also just cool to see all the water flowing through, and it's nice air conditioning for if you ever just need to cool off or something like that. So yeah, just thought I'd show that real quick. So I just went to buy some crypto again, but it turns out that ever since I got my new bank card, that it's being blocked on there as well. Because I know my old debit card, it went through for crypto purchases. My parents couldn't purchase it, and my brother couldn't purchase it. I think it was my brother, it wasn't my sister, couldn't purchase it. Because BMO blocks some accounts because they don't like people buying crypto because it's volatile, they say, is their official reasoning and stuff. And so I was able to buy it for the longest time, but then a couple months ago or so, my old card expired, so I had to get a new card. And then I tried purchasing it with the old card because I forgot to switch, and it said card declined. So then I just looked, I was like, oh, I need to put in my new card. So I entered in my new card information, and it was denied. And I tried like 5 times, but it kept saying some error occurred or something like that. So it looks like I can't do that. So I'll have to see if I can find some workarounds. But that's not the top of my priority right now. But just thought I'd say that because it's interesting. They really made Lego sets pocket size back in the day. Got this set in the mail today, and it actually fits in my pocket. But it's a little bit cold down here again, so even though this was on tonight, last night, which kept it a little bit warm, the temperature thing here was completely off, so I'm going to turn it back on to max for now, just so it heats up faster. Then, if I remember, to be honest, I'll probably forget. I'll put it to about half temperature later today. But then the Lego set I got in the mail today was this one here. And okay, for a second I saw this stuff here and I thought I forgot to ship out eBay orders yesterday. Oh man, I'm getting forgetful these days. But no, those ones aren't those. So those are rebuilt. I don't know how I completely forgot that. And so this is the Lego set I got in the mail today. It was one that normally goes for like 100 to 120 bucks brand new on Bricklink at least. And then I think I showed it in the video. I got it for like 40 bucks or so, brand new, sealed. And so it just arrived in the mail today. And so I'll try to possibly part that out today. Not sure yet. And yeah, just thought I'd show that real quick. But thank you for watching the vlog. If you got this far, this is the last clip of the vlog. The next vlog should be out on, it's a Wednesday today, so Saturday. And so hopefully my goal for today will be to rebuild some of these guys. And then to, I sold a minifigure on eBay again, so I'll just quickly grab it from here to relist it. I sold a golem again, so that was nice, and then I'll be able to just relist that and then just put this bag on the order pile. It'll just save a bit of time, and then possibly part this out if I can find the time today. And it's currently 1:30 p.m., so hopefully I'll be able to start editing the vlog sooner than later. So thank you for watching the vlog if you got this far.